Your muscles are vanishing silently while you sleep, and most people don't even realize it until it's too late. But there's a powerful, natural way to stop this. Just 2 minutes before bed can help you stay strong, mobile, and independent. Stay with me. The final part of this video reveals the key practice I never skip. It was shared with me recently, a discovery from the world of Western medicine, a field that looks at the human body with incredible precision. A brain specialist, a doctor of the physical mind, had identified a simple morning habit that dramatically, almost instantly, increases the potential for a severe rupture within the brain, a stroke. And when I listened to what this habit was, I was not surprised by the action itself, but by how deeply it reflects a sickness, not of the body but of the spirit, a disconnection that has become the signature of our modern age. It is an act so common, so accepted as normal, that we do not even see it as a choice anymore. It has become a reflex. But this reflex, this modern urgency, is like starting a delicate engine by flooding it with fire. What is this habit? It is the moment you wake when your consciousness is still soft like clay and you immediately reach for your phone. You immediately expose your mind, your nervous system to a torrent of information, demands, notifications, emails, news of the world's tragedies, and the curated perfection of other people's lives. Before your feet have even touched the floor, before you have taken a single conscious breath of the new day, you have already told your body that it is in a state of emergency. You have sounded the alarm. The body, in its ancient wisdom, does not know the difference between a tiger and an angry email. It only knows the signal of threat, and in that instant, it responds. This response is a cascade, a chemical storm inside of you. Hormones designed for survival, for fighting, or for fleeing flood your system. Your blood pressure rises sharply, your heart begins to beat faster, your vessels constrict. It is a state of high alert. Imagine a calm, still lake at dawn. This habit is the equivalent of dropping a massive, heavy stone into its center. The ripples are not gentle, they are shockwaves, and they violently disturb every part of the ecosystem. Doing this every single morning, day after day, year after year, puts an unimaginable strain on the delicate vessels that carry life to your brain. It is no wonder that the science now shows what the wisdom of ages has always known. A life lived in a state of internal panic will eventually manifest as a physical rupture. But the risk of a stroke is only the final, most dramatic symptom. It is the tree that finally falls in the storm. The real issue is the storm itself, the storm we are inviting into our inner world as our very first act of the day. This habit of modern urgency is eroding our ability to think clearly, to feel deeply, to connect with ourselves and with others in a meaningful way. We are starting our day not from a place of center, of peace, of personal intention, but from a place of chaotic reaction. We are giving the keys to our own consciousness away to 1,000 different masters before we have even had a chance to greet ourselves. The day then unfolds from this fractured foundation. We wonder why we feel anxious, why we are so easily irritated, why we feel a constant sense of being overwhelmed, of never having enough time. It is because we begin our day by stepping directly into a raging river, and then we spend the rest of the day simply trying not to drown. The profound exhaustion we feel is not just physical, it is a soul-level fatigue. It is the tiredness that comes from having our life force, our precious energy, constantly pulled outwards, scattered in 100 different directions, before we have even had a chance to gather it, to cultivate it, to decide for ourselves how we wish to use it. This single, seemingly small habit sets the tone for a life of frantic, powerless reactivity. And over time, this way of being does not just strain the vessels in the brain, it strains the very fabric of our being. It weakens our spirit. The challenge then is not to find a new app or a new technique to manage the stress. The challenge is to stop creating it in the first place. Internal storm. Let us look deeper into this internal storm we create. The language of modern science gives it names like cortisol and adrenaline. Ancient traditions might have called it a disturbance in our vital energy, our chi, but the name is not important. What is important is the feeling, the lived experience. It is the feeling of being tight, of being constricted, of having a knot in your stomach before your day has even begun. It is a state of being that is fundamentally at odds with health, with peace, and with clarity. Health is a state of flow, of balance, of harmony. This morning habit creates the precise opposite, a state of stagnation, of imbalance, and of internal chaos. It is like trying to grow a beautiful garden while pouring salt on the soil each and every morning. This internal storm does more than just affect our physical vessels. It colors our entire perception of reality. When our nervous system is in a state of high alert, we are more likely to interpret neutral events as threatening. A simple question from a loved one can sound like an accusation. An unexpected challenge at work can feel like a personal attack. We lose our capacity for patience, for compassion, for understanding. We become like a taut violin string, ready to snap at the slightest touch. And so, the storm we create inside ourselves begins to create storms outside of ourselves, in our relationships, in our work, in the way we interact with the world. We become transmitters of the very anxiety and urgency that we consumed in the first moments of our day. Think of your mind as a glass of water. When you wake, the water is clear. The sediment has settled overnight. You have a chance in that moment to see through the water with perfect clarity. But when you reach for that device, it is like thrusting a stick into the glass and stirring it violently. The sediment of the world's worries, the demands of others, the fears and anxieties are all churned up, and the water becomes completely opaque. You then try to navigate your entire day looking through this murky water. You cannot see your own needs clearly. You cannot see the needs of others clearly. You are simply reacting to the swirling chaos you have stirred up within yourself. This is a profound act of self-abandonment. It is turning your back on your own inner sanctuary the moment you open your eyes. We seek peace. We say we want balance, yet our actions betray a deep addiction to the very things that destroy them. This addiction is subtle. We tell ourselves we are just catching up or being productive. But what are we producing? We are producing a state of inner turmoil. We are producing a disconnection from the present moment. We are producing a body that is marinated in the chemistry of stress. This is a very poor foundation upon which to build a meaningful day, let alone a meaningful life. The cumulative effect of this daily ritual is immense. It is death by 1,000 paper cuts. Each morning is a tiny wound, and over a lifetime, these wounds create a landscape of chronic illness, anxiety, and deep, unfulfilled longing for a peace we have forgotten how to access. The true tragedy is that we have come to believe that this is the only way to live. We have accepted this internal storm as the price of admission to the modern world. We wear our busyness as a badge of honor, but it is a hollow victory. For what good is a life of apparent success if the inner landscape is a barren wasteland, scarred by the constant storms of our own making? The path to healing, the path to reclaiming your vitality and your sanity, begins with the courageous and radical act of reclaiming your mornings. It begins with the decision to honor the sanctity of your own consciousness before you honor the demands of the world. Cultivating stillness. So, what is the alternative? If reaching for the device is the path of internal chaos, what is the path of internal peace? The answer is so simple that our complicated modern minds often dismiss it. The answer is to do nothing, to consciously and deliberately choose, for the first few minutes of your day, to simply be. This is not an act of laziness. It is an act of profound wisdom and radical self-respect. It is the conscious decision to allow your own consciousness to fully arrive in your body before you engage with the external world. It is about honoring the transition from the world of sleep and dreams to the world of wakefulness. When you first wake up, before you move, before you even open your eyes fully, simply become aware of your own breathing. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Notice the sensation of the air entering your nostrils and filling your lungs. Do not try to change it. Do not judge it. Simply observe it. This is your anchor to the present moment. Your breath is always here, always with you, a faithful companion. By bringing your attention to it, you are bringing yourself back to your center. You are announcing with this simple act that your own inner world is your first priority. Then, when you feel ready, you can begin to move, but move with intention, with mindfulness. As your feet touch the floor, feel the sensation of the ground beneath them. Feel the texture of the carpet or the coolness of the wood. This simple act of feeling connects you to your body and to the physical reality of the here and now. You are grounding yourself. So much of our anxiety comes from living in our heads, in the past or in the future. The simple sensation of your feet on the floor is a powerful antidote to this. It brings you home to the only place where life ever truly happens, right here, right now. Perhaps you then go to the kitchen to drink a glass of water. Do not just gulp it down. Make this a ritual. Feel the weight of the glass in your hand. See the way the light passes through the water. As you drink, taste it. Feel the sensation of the water hydrating your body, bringing life to you. This simple everyday act, when performed with full attention, becomes a profound meditation. It becomes an act of gratitude for the simple elements that sustain your life. By doing this, you are cultivating a state of stillness. You are gently, patiently allowing your inner lake to remain clear and calm. You are setting a completely different tone for the day. This practice is a form of training. It is training for your mind. Each time you resist the urge to immediately check your phone, you are strengthening a muscle of self-regulation and discipline. This is a far more important form of discipline than forcing yourself to answer emails at dawn. It is the discipline of protecting your own inner peace. And when you start your day from this place of centered stillness, everything changes. Your perception shifts. You approach challenges not with panic, but with clarity. You interact with others not with reactivity, but with presence and compassion. You are no longer being tossed about by the storms of the world. You are the calm, unshakable center of your own. This doesn't mean problems will vanish. It means your ability to meet them will be infinitely greater. Sacred ritual. This practice of cultivating stillness is not meant to be a rigid, unfeeling chore. It is an invitation to create your own sacred ritual. A ritual is an action that is infused with meaning and intention. It elevates the mundane into the sacred. Your morning does not have to be a frantic rush to get out the door. It can be a sacred time, a protected space that you carve out for yourself to nourish your mind, your body, and your spirit. This space may only be 5 minutes. It may be 10. The length is not as important as the quality of the attention you bring to it. It is your personal sanctuary, your temple of dawn. What might this sacred ritual look like? It will be different for everyone. It must be something that resonates with you personally. For one person, it may be sitting by a window and watching the sky change color as the sun rises. There is profound wisdom to be gained from simply observing the natural world. It teaches us about cycles, about patience, about the beauty of a gentle unfolding. For another person, it may be some light, gentle stretching, moving the body with awareness, feeling into the muscles and joints, thanking your body for its ability to move, for carrying you through life. This is a powerful way to bridge the connection between mind and body that is so often severed in our modern lives. For someone else, the ritual might be writing. Not writing a to-do list, not journaling about your anxieties, but perhaps writing down a single thing you are grateful for. Starting the day with gratitude is like turning on a light in a dark room. It fundamentally changes the chemistry of your brain and your entire outlook. Or perhaps your ritual is simply to drink a cup of tea with no other distractions. No phone, no television, no book. Just you and the tea. The warmth of the cup, the aroma, the taste. An act of pure, simple presence. You are not just drinking tea. You are imbibing stillness. You are consuming peace. The key is to protect this time fiercely. Treat it as the most important appointment of your day. It is an appointment with yourself. It may mean waking up 10 minutes earlier. Is 10 minutes of sleep more valuable than a day of clarity and inner peace? We must be honest with ourselves about our priorities. If we truly value our well-being, we will make time for the practices that cultivate it. This is not selfish. It is essential. When you fill your own cup first, you have so much more to give to others. You cannot pour from an empty vessel. A person who starts their day from a place of centered peace brings that peace into their family, into their workplace, and into their community. This morning ritual is the forging of your mind for the day ahead. A blacksmith does not rush the process of creating a sword. He heats the metal, he hammers it, he cools it with patience and with focused intention. He knows that a rushed job will create a brittle, unreliable blade. Your mind is your primary tool for navigating the world. Your morning ritual is the process by which you forge that tool. By creating this sacred time, you are ensuring that you meet the day with a mind that is not brittle and reactive, but strong, resilient, flexible, and sharp. You are transforming your mornings from a source of chronic stress that could physically break you into a source of profound strength that will spiritually make you. This choice, to turn away from the storm of modern urgency and toward the sanctuary of sacred ritual, is the most powerful health decision you can possibly make. It is a decision that ripples outward, touching not just the health of your brain, but the health of your entire life. It is the choice to live with intention, with presence, and with a deep and abiding connection to the quiet, powerful stillness that resides within you. This is not an escape from life, but a deeper engagement with it. The most profound insight is this: the morning habit that is so dangerous is not the physical act of looking at a screen. The habit is the state of mind it represents, a state of forgetting yourself. Therefore, the most powerful healing is not about finding a better habit. It is about the practice of remembering yourself, the stillness, the breath, the sacred ritual. These are all simply acts of remembering, of coming home to the person you are before the world told you who you should be. The first light of dawn offers you this choice every single day, the choice to remember. I came to this video expecting a list of foods to avoid or some kind of physical trick. I was completely wrong. This wasn't about a health hack. It was about deconstructing the entire way I start my life each day. The idea of the internal storm and seeing the stroke risk as just the final falling tree made everything click. I realized I've been intentionally inviting a storm into my mind every morning for years. I'm putting my phone in another room tonight. Thank you for this, truly.